We're going to talk about male allyship. Obviously, with the impending International Men's Day, I remember talking about male allyship a good few years ago, and everyone was like, well, this is about women, isn't it? And I'm like, absolutely not, right? We need the gents at the table to have this, if we're ever going to achieve gender parity, and to have this very important conversation. So we're going to have a little bit of an insight now with Trevor in terms of what UBS are doing around their male allyship program. So Trevor, I'm going to hand off to you.
Thanks a lot, Vanessa. And like I say, I'm really privileged and fortunate to be able to talk to you today. So thanks for taking the time. So just a bit about me first of all. So obviously I'm here to talk about the UBS Male Ally Program and the actions that we're taking internally. On the day job perspective, I run one of the technology production support teams across UBS. So I'm fortunate actually to have a very diverse team globally, and also management team, which also helps me and helps me raise my own awareness and equally learn. So if I just talk a bit about some of the background, first of all, in terms of what UBS is doing in our own Male Ally program. So UBS kicked off our program in February 2020. It was just before COVID, so we had some of the usual challenges that we've already mentioned here. The aim was to increase male engagement in gender parity and to change that culture and the conversation. It was put together with a sponsor from our group executive board, and that's been really positive in terms of driving that message and that engagement from the top down. And this is the direction of travel from a gender initiatives point of view. For example, the he for she movement. It's not a women's problem. Clearly, we need men engaged to make meaningful progress to really accelerate gender parity. So for the program itself, what was done was we've recruited and over the last 3 years senior men across the organisation who so they can have a real impact and act as a role model, inspiring the wider engagement across obviously men and really advocating for the topic. So the senior men as part of the overall program, in terms of supporting them, are really kind of to help drive certain actions. That's really looking at things close in terms of their own organisation and areas. So our own DE&I stats. Also have one-to-one sessions with junior women, run workshops, raise their own awareness, and obviously self-educate as well. To support the men, we're paired with ultimately a junior All Bar None ABN partner to help them through the program and also help drive that advocacy as well. So it's really been a great success. We're still obviously on that trajectory, as it were. We're 2.5 years now into the program, and I've just joined it this year, actually in May, which I'll cover more. And the program itself has expanded to now over 110 senior male allies across 7 locations globally. So that's from UK to obviously the US, India, Singapore, Hong Kong, and we've also now got Poland coming online as well, making it the 8th location. And as we've seen, through these events, we and then mentioned earlier on through Emma, we're ultimately driving that membership of our All Bar None organisation for men, with over 37% now being members, which is really great to see that engagement. If I look at allyship and what does it mean to me? Why did I get engaged? I mean, I have 2 children, and I really, I've got a daughter who's now 15, and I really want them to grow up and not to have this conversation and also experience some of the micro aggressions which happen. I want them to be able to work and live in an environment which is really there's that greater level of diversity, equity, and inclusion everywhere. You know, when I looked at getting involved and so on, it was clear that you know, silence or standing by is not an option. You know, it really is. You know, it's important to speak up and to be an advocate for the right culture and behaviour. It was really important to me. So you know, I you know, when I was first asked to get involved in the allyship program, like I say, I felt very privileged, and you know, really when I looked at it, you know, I'd seen others, my own manager as well, go through the program and really benefit, and I wanted to raise my awareness and take action. I've seen the benefits that have come from other male allies in terms of their advocacy and engagement, what they've learnt, and how they've also changed their organisation, supporting women's progression up through the organisation and across the current leadership team. And you know, we can really see, and you know, the examples are clear in regards to, you know, creating a, you know, much more diverse and higher performing team as well as part of doing that. So I think, like I say, the successes are huge in terms of the program. So I actually started in May, as I mentioned. So it's now coming up to just 4 months. It's gone quick, I must admit, already, given the summer. But it's, you know, I've you know, I wanted to raise my awareness. So I started by reading actually the book called Good Guys. And I must admit, when I first started reading it, I thought, well, you know, I had a reasonable awareness already, and an understanding, as it were. But I was really surprised actually, how after reading the book and so on, that when I was in certain meetings, I would be much more aware of those little aggressions. So of someone talking over someone or repeating that idea that was just mentioned 10 minutes ago by another woman in the meeting, effectively. And I could see actually the expressions which really do, you know, take their toll, as you know, and it's, you know, it's you know, through reading that book and just, you know, taking the time to understand some of the tips and tricks, it's really helped me increase my sense of awareness, and also now to further support the culture we want, and also women across the organisation. So I'm looking to take forward a number of you know, significant actions and concrete actions to help as part of the overall program. Doing this event is one of the first ones, and it's like I say, it's a privilege to be talking here today. But also then just raising that awareness and encouraging the engagement. You know, I think, you know, to get to that gender parity, you know, we need the advocacy. We need men engaged across the all areas to help achieve that. I plan actually in the near term to run also an inclusivity workshop within my organisation, so we can really learn what we need to improve, and also understand the experiences of women. You know, I think we sometimes always can jump to conclusions or jump to thinking that we know best, and we need to listen and just take that time as well. So that inclusivity workshop is something I'm really actually looking forward to complete, and then also obviously take some actions from. And I think, you know, that self-education part is really key. I'm currently, I've read the Good Guys book, which was really good. I'm actually now focusing on a book I've just started actually, but appealed to me. It's about how to be an inclusive leader, and actually talks through, so the author actually talks through the different stages and development stages, really, but from really being unaware to then ultimately getting to being a real advocate as well. So from my perspective, I think, you know, from a UBS point of view, we continue to evolve the program. It's really been, like I say, with Poland coming on board now, it's really been a great success, and the support from our group executive board has been excellent. So as a final message that I would say to the group really here is, you know, I'd always recommend raising your awareness, but also raising that awareness through listening. talking to women about their experiences, like I say, understanding more about those microaggressions, but then obviously, it's about taking action for me, and really to kind of drive and support the diverse culture. So yeah, it's, like I say, from my point of view and our program here, we'll continue to drive that forward with our ABN network, but we're seeing some real positive outcomes as well from that. And I'll stop there and hand back to yourself, Vanessa. Thanks a lot.